1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a right war. Hey dragonlings, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Skye, and I typically write paranormal romance under the name SD Haggis. As you may have guessed from the little short intro, I declare a right war. I was not the first person to come up with this, and I'm going to split this video up into parts. This is going to be a long video, and I'm going to go ahead and apologize for how long it's going to be. I'm trying to try to keep it as short as I can, but I apologize. So let's get started. So RJ Blain is a paranormal romance author I follow on Facebook. She does public posts about her writing career and her writing challenges. Every once in a while she says, ask me a question, and it can be about anything at all. I really enjoy her personality. I really enjoy reading her posts, and I've learned a lot from her over the past couple of years that I've gotten to know her, both for my own writing career and about how she's done everything now that she is kind of making this is her day job. Writing is her day job. She's got a lot of books out, most of them in one series. She's got multiple pen names that she writes different genres under. And I just really admire her and her work ethic and how she gets everything done. When she declared right war, I automatically jumped on it. I have always been one to jump on challenges. If you've been watching my channel for a long time, you know that I am a big fan of writing challenges, but this one actually seemed like one I could do. She had 5 rules for her Right War challenge. The first one being that you write a book in 90 days. These days do not have to be consecutive, meaning they do not have to be one right after the other, as long as it takes you 90 days in total to complete your book. Rule 2 was that if you were an outliner, you could plan it ahead of time before starting the challenge. It is completely up to you. Rule 3, honor system. Not exactly certain what she means by this, but I'm pretty certain what it means is that she's not going to be checking up on everyone and being like, hey, have you worked on your novel today? Hey, have you worked on your project today? Hey, I see you're not writing. Maybe you should do that. Rule 4, try to write outside your comfort zone. If you are a mystery writer, try to write something more noir. If you are a fantasy writer, try writing something horror. Rule 5, make it a standalone. You can leave threads open to continue it if you want to, but try to make it its own book. You don't have to. Again, these are not hard and set rules. They were just rules that she came up with that she's going to be using for her own project. But again, not hard and set rules. The other thing that she added to it was that she is going to be using the hero's journal in order to complete her project and track her progress along the way. For myself personally, I went ahead and challenged Skye to it. For those of you who don't know, Skye is the kind of name, and I believe it was CO Savvy who came up with it, that combined both me, Amy, and Caro together. And we have a group chat message that we kind of talk in, and I just told them about the Right War, and they were like, we're doing it too. And I was like, oh, that's not what I meant. I just meant that I'm doing it. And yeah, so now we're all 3 doing it. They took it as me challenging them to do it too, I guess. I'm not quite certain. But yeah, all 3 of us are doing the Right War challenge. I think they're going to be following more RJ's rules, whereas I'm adding some additional rules. Instead of writing a book in 90 days, I'm going to write, edit, and publish a book in 90 days. Don't freak out. It's not as rushed as you seem to think. First of all, I'm doing Kindle Vella. I'm going to be doing a Kindle Vella project, and I'm going to be working with my editor, one of my editors, because I have 2 that I work closely with right now. And I'm going to be working basically as I finish a chapter, I'm going to be sending it to my editor, and we're going to go back and forth about that chapter until it's ready to go and stuff like that. But I have 90 days to write, edit, and publish the Kindle Vella story. And because it's Kindle Vella, you can upload as you go. So as I finish a chapter, I'm going to go ahead and upload it to Kindle Vella and have it raring to go. The second thing that I'm doing differently is that instead of an honor system, I am doing accountability. I will be adding a section onto my weekly vlogs that I'm going to be starting back up soon, where I talk about my progress, what I've done, to kind of flip through my heroes journal and show you how I'm doing everything. And I'm also going to be doing weekly Instagram posts that are going to also post to my Facebook page that have kind of updates on where I stand with my various projects that I'm working on, what I'm doing, and stuff like that. It's basically going to be just a weekly update on Instagram and my Facebook page, as well as my weekly vlogs. So you'll see it in 3 different areas. If you're not following me on social media, all my links are listed down below. I believe I have it as a link tree, which will just take you to everything. The other thing I'm doing that I'm adding on is that I'm going to try to keep the draft as clean as possible. I am setting my word count very low. I'm not going to be aiming for like any 10K days or anything like that, because I want to keep my draft as clean as possible to send to my editor that I'm working with, because I do want to try to publish it in that 90-day period. So if I keep my draft as clean as possible, it means I'm going to be writing slower. It means I'm going to be doing a lot more editing and a lot more backspacing as I write, versus just trying to get as many words in per day. In fact, actually, I'm keeping my word counts extremely low for me and what I'm used to doing when I do write, for this reason. And I'm going to be taking my time, basically. The last thing that I'm doing is that I'm going to be trying to work in 15 to 20 minute sprints. I am trying to keep a time tracker so that I can see how long exactly it takes me to work on projects and get everything done with them. But I'm going to be working in 15 to 20 minute sprints, because most of the live streams that I join do either 15-minute sprints or 20-minute sprints. And I do like joining the live streams. I would like to join more live streams. And maybe don't hold me to this, because I do not have stable enough internet, I believe, at this time to actually do it. But maybe I might even start doing my own live streams again. We shall see. Don't hold me accountable to that yet. I will let you guys know in the future if I'm going to be doing live streams myself. I would also like to do like something like the World Write-a-thon. I would like to eventually join in with live streams with that. But again, I want to make sure I have good enough internet to do that. And right now, I don't think I do. So let's talk about projects. I have 2 projects I'm going to be working on for the 90 days. I'm going to have my main project, which if I accomplish it and I still feel like writing, I'll go ahead and work on my secondary project. The first project is called A Modernism of Magic. It is going to be a Kindle Vella story. That is going to be, my goal is to write a Kindle Vella project, which is how I'm making it different from what I normally write. I normally write novels, novellas, short stories. This is going to be featured in Kindle Vella. It is going to be my Kindle Vella project, and that's what's making it different from what I normally do. And it's also a standalone, which means it follows all of RJ's rules, as well as my own. The second project is Damned and Deadly. I'm going to try, basically, as I do this challenge, to also complete a series I'm already working on. Damned and Deadly is the 3rd book in the Damned and Dangerous Quartet. It only needs a rewrite. It has been written before. However, when I edited and rewrote Book 2, I actually pulled some of my plot points from Book 3, so now I've got to reevaluate Book 3 and see what I'm going to do for its plot, because what I was doing in it before became portions of Book 2. Fun stuff. That's the reason it hasn't been done yet, is because as I was rereading and editing Book 3, I was like, wait, I recognize some of this stuff. And I realized it's because I pulled it and put it in Book 2 because it fit better in Book 2 and everything that was going on there. So that's fun. And so I've got to redo Book 3 and 4, because I have a feeling I'll be pulling some plot points from Book 4 in order to make Book 3 and flesh it out. So yeah, that's going to be my secondary project, meaning if I complete my first project for the day, I get to work on my second project. I'm really excited about the projects. So let's talk about how I'm going to track them and how I'm going to actually accomplish this. I'm going to be using the Hero's Journal in order to track my progress with both projects and see how far I get every day with each project and track what I'm accomplishing and how I'm doing it. Basically, what it comes down to is I'm going to track my 90-day progress in here. I'm going to be working on projects Monday through Friday. My goal is to complete everything Monday through Friday and then take weekends off. For a modernism of magic, I am going to be aiming for 1,500 words per day when I'm writing on it. Outlining and editing and stuff like that are a different story. But as far as the writing goes, because of the fact that I want to aim for a very clean draft the first time I write it, I'm going to be writing 1,500 words per day, and I'm going to be tracking that in here as well as everything else. I'm going to be tracking what I do and how I do it using stickers, various color stickers. I've got some moon and star stickers that I bought from Studio 1005, but I'm using different color stickers of the moons and stars in order to track what I'm working on and how long I'm spending so that I can see exactly how long it takes me to write, edit, and publish a novel, doing everything that I do personally in order to get that novel ready for publication. So I'm going to be using my stickers along with my Heroes Journal in order to track what I'm doing and how I'm doing it for each project. I have the daily word count of 1,500 words for the main project. If I don't make that 1,500 words, I cannot work on my secondary project. And on top of that, I've got to transfer anything I don't do in my main project to the next day. So if I only write 1,000 words today for that main project, then tomorrow I've got to write the 1,500 words plus the 500 words I didn't do the day before. So that's how I'm going to work it, is each day accumulates for that week only for that week. After that, it's going to start over basically. So that way, if I continue getting far behind, it just starts over and resets on the weekend, basically. And I'm doing that for multiple reasons, but mainly I'm doing that because otherwise I will kill myself, because what I tend to do is when I get too far behind, I get frustrated and I just quit. And I want to continue. So I'm only going to continue that rule set for the 5-day period. If I get behind on Monday and I'm still behind on Friday, it doesn't matter. It resets. And then on the following Monday, I can try again, basically. So now I'm going to go ahead and do a flip through of the Heroes Journal so you can see what it looks like and you can see how I'm going to be using it and what I'm going to be doing with it exactly. So let's take a look. So here is a quick flip through of the Heroes Journal. It is a 90-day planner that allows you to give your goal a quest. I have already started writing in this, but I figured I'd show you guys what it would look like if you were to just get it. So when it comes in this box, it's black and white. You're allowed to color it. You can keep this box. It's a really nice quality box. There is a quote on the side. This time it says, "Fairy tales are more than true, not because they tell us that dragons exist, but because they tell us that dragons can be beaten." G.K. Chesterton. And I've heard this quote from actually multiple people, including Neil Gaiman. I think he says it in his masterclass. So this is not the first person to say this. It's just, it varies who gets quoted for it, basically. And then on the other side, it says, "All we have to decide is what to do with the time given us," from Gandalf the Grey by J.R.R. Tolkien. On the back, it gives a little bit of description about what to do with this journal. "Heroes are made by the paths they choose, not the powers they are graced with." Brody Ashton. And it said, "Inside this box lies your call to adventure. A life full of quests, slaying dragons, and making allies awaits you. Happy questing." So when you open this box right away, you can find the Heroes Journal along with this bookmark that you can actually use. If you flip it over, each book that you get comes with a different bookmark. Like the image on the bookmark is different from what I understand. But on the back side of the bookmark, when you flip it over, it says the Heroes Journal, give your goal a quest. And it's a habit tracker. It allows you to put up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 habits on here. And then each section is divided into 30 days. So it's 1, 2, 3 sets of 30 days for the whole 90-day period. Now, I ordered mine in Mountain Gray. Gray is my favorite color, next to like sky blue. And I just really enjoyed this color and wanted to get it. I have had one of these before from the first edition. This is the second edition. There are some changes to this I have noticed. But the first edition I had was a gift to me from a friend. I did use it for about 30-ish days before I gave up on it, mostly because I wasn't ready to start using it in the first place. And had I thought of doing it this way before, I probably would have continued using it, but that's beyond here now. It has this gold engraved sword on it, which I think is the emblem for Hero's Journal. It has an elastic band. This is an A5. It's the standard size of a bullet journal. The smaller bullet journals, not the 8.5 by 11. I usually just tuck this band on the very last page. It does not have a pocket, but it does have this really pretty illustration of kind of the land, which I thought was really cool. And that's on both sides, the front and back cover, when you first open it up. And then the first page is the title page, the Hero's Journal, what color you get. So mine is mountain gray. And then who created it. It's created by Nick Vitellero, Kyle Cole, and Ryan McConnell. Copyright page, as well as a This Journal Belongs To page, which I have already filled out. And the fact that this is second edition. Welcome Hero page, where it tells you about how they did this and why they did this. Finding Your North Star talks about why you're doing what you want to do. I want a better story about and you can fill this in. I said publishing career because that's what I'm going to be using this for. Call to adventure, defining your quest. My quest, I want to write, edit, and publish a Kindle Vella project this quarter. And what I love about this journal is that all these pages, they're black and white so that you can color them. You can design them the way you want to. It's basically a giant planner and coloring book, and I love that. Refusal of the call. These are questions. It tells you about what happens, and then it asks you some questions. What is the cost of never leaving your comfort zone for this quest? What will your life look like in 3 months if you refuse the call? If you attempt this goal, what progress could be made in 3 months' time? What is the absolute worst possible thing that could happen if you accept this quest? And it really wants you to think about these questions. I will probably have another video where I talk a little bit about this in more detail, but I don't plan on talking about this in this video. Accepting the quest, and then you get to fill this in.
I, Skye Higgis, am the only hero who can complete this quest on this day, and you put your date in. My quest has called me out of my comfort zone to pursue feats reserved for the mightiest of heroes. I acknowledge my time and focus are worthy of this quest. I choose to embark on this quest and take ownership of its outcome. I commit to being the hero of my story and to not make excuses or blame anyone else for my success or failure. I will embrace progress over perfection, make failure a friend, and fall in love with the process. No matter how difficult my goal looks or feels, even if I am exhausted or have a terrible day, even if I wander off the path or fall off the horse, even if it takes me longer than expected, I will see this quest fulfilled. I am the hero of my story. I choose this quest just as this quest chose me. I will see it through.
And I have signed and dated it. I actually signed and dated it with the future date, not the current date. As of filming this, it is June 13th. But I went ahead and put the future date because I plan on starting this journal July 1st for Q3. So I put the date of the day before, basically, the quarter starts. This is basically a detailed explanation of how to use the future pages. This is the layout of the page and talks about what each thing means. And it talks about in detail how you can use each page. That's more details about how to use each page. And at the end, at the end of each section, there is a reflection, and it asks 2 questions that you get to fill out. And then it starts the actual journal portion. It is separated into 3 acts, and there are 3 sections in each act. So each section in each act looks the same. This is the first section. Let me flip through this and get to the second section. There's the reflection page of the first section, and it allows you to continue. And then the pages change for the second section. And it does that for each section. Reflection. Oops, nope. Okay, so the third section doesn't have a reflection. Did I miss something? Okay, then at the end of each section... Oh, I skipped a section, that's why. Okay, so Yep, that's why. Okay, so at the end of each section is the reflection. And then when you get to the end of the third section, instead of a reflection, there's a message from the mentor, followed by you have to rewrite your quest. If you have changed it, go ahead and write the new quest. And then basically you write a description of what all happened in Act 1, a overall view of what happened in Act 1. This especially works if you have changed your quest. You can talk about here what about your quest has changed and why. And then it starts Act 2. And the same process will follow. You'll have your daily pages, followed by a reflection, followed by the next section of daily pages. And then when you get to the end of the third section, it asks you if it gives you another note from the mentor, and it asks you if your quest has changed. You get to write more stuff about Act 1 and Act 2, and then you go on to Act 3. And it's the same process over again with the daily pages, the reflection of those daily pages, next section, all the way to the end. Okay. Then there's the final pages where you get to talk about your adventure as a whole, each section of the acts that made that quest line. There's a map to the land of Historia, which is the land that this is based in, and then a character page where it talks about a little bit about all the characters along the way in this book. There is a section for notes, which is new. The layout of this is actually pretty new. I really enjoy this personal layout. It's set up like a story. It turns your life into a story, a grand adventure, epic fantasy story with the 3-act structure and the daily pages, basically. There is a bookmark, so you can mark your pages with the bookmark if you'd like, or you could use the habits bookmark that they send along with it. So you can use this bookmark as well if you'd like. And I actually plan on using both. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do that yet, but I will probably be marking my habits that I want to track on here and tracking them daily. But I haven't figured out yet exactly how I'm going to do that. So I've still got to think about that. And then I'll mark my page that I'm on. Or I'll probably just get rid of the bookmark because I don't generally use these bookmarks anyways. I'll just probably tuck it into the back. I'm going to go ahead and fill out the first day of my daily quest so you can see exactly how I'm going to be doing this. And I am going to fill it out with pencil instead of pen like I have in the previous parts. So we're going to go back to Act 1. My quest, that is going to stay the same daily unless I change it. So my quest is, I want to write, edit, and publish a Kindle Velo project this quarter. So I'm just going to transfer that over. Okay, so one of the cool things is that you don't have to use this consecutively, which means you don't have to use it every day. That allows you to put the date up here. So I'm going to start mine on July 1st. So I'm going to put
1 July 2021.
July 1st is a Thursday, so we'll circle the Thursday. They have a 6 to 8 calendar on here, time tracker on here. Today I'm grateful for, today's allies, what I'm going to do to seize the day, a little notes section, and today's threats. So the only thing I'm going to fill out right now is to seize the day. I'm going to write down the 3 things that I want to work on. My main project, which is the thing that goes with my quest, is my Kindle Velo project. So I'm going to work on
a modernism of magic. And I'll have to find a way to shorten this. I'll probably just call it MM in the future. And I want to write 1,500 words today.
My second project is the one I'm going to work on. Basically, if I meet that goal, I'll work on the second goal, the second project, and that is
DDQ3, Damned and Dangerous Quartet 3, Damned and Deadly, and I want to write 1,000 words with that. But again, only if I meet my quota for the first project.
So I have to write 1,500 words before I can write the 1,000 words for Damned and Deadly. And then
my third quest is going to be my exercise. So I'm going to do treadmill. Actually, I'll just say exercise because I'm not going to do all 10,000 steps on the treadmill. But there's a treadmill here, so I'm going to use the treadmill to do a lot of my steps, especially like on really hot days. So, exercise, 10,000 steps.
then as I complete them, I will cross them off. And then I will write notes for any like things I do that are specific to this. If I have any problems, I will track what I'm going to be doing when. But yeah, that is the Hero's Journal. That's how I'm going to use it to track my projects. I'm going to do this daily. You do not have to do this daily if you decide to get the bullet journal the Hero's Journal in order to do this kind of project. Because of the fact that these days are blank, you can skip days and just not do it those days. In fact, actually, that's what I'm going to be doing because I don't plan on working on this stuff on the weekend unless I'm playing catch up. Because the way I'm going to do it is if I don't meet my word quota for my main project this day, if I do not hit 1,500 words, I've got to add whatever I did not make to the next day's project. So I'll have 1,500 words plus, let's say I only write 1,000 words this day instead of 1,500. I'll have to write 1,500 words this day plus 500 words from the previous day. And that's exactly what it'll say. It'll say 1,500 plus 500 words in parentheses instead of 1,500 words. I will be shortening this to modernism. I'll probably shorten this to AMOM, and then this will just become DDQ3 for the rest of this. That way, if I have to ever add anything to the extra lines, I can do so. That'll especially be true when I get to the point where I'm editing it or formatting it or doing something other than writing words. In fact, actually, I'm going to be changing this because I'm going to be outlining these first couple of days, both projects. So I have to outline chapters, blah, 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 through blah, blah. So I actually need to change this.
I'm going to outline chapters 1 through 4 because I want to spend 3 days on outlining with this. So outline chapter 1 through 4. And this is going to be, this has a set number of chapters, whereas this one does not. So I'll say the same thing though. Outline chapter 1 through 4.
And again, I cannot do the second task unless I complete the first task. But I do need to do the third task every day. In fact, I might move the third task to the top because that one's not going to change pretty much. So my exercise will probably be the first thing in future. And then I'll have Modernism of Magic, which is my Kindle Vella project. And then I'll have DDQ3, which is my fun project, basically. And basically what I want to do is work on 2 projects every quarter so I can get them going. So that is what I'm going to be working with. Again, I'll probably use the habit tracker. I got to figure out what habits I want to actually track. Probably my water consumption. Yeah, I don't know what else I'm going to track on here. I've got to figure it out. I'm not good with habit trackers. So we'll see. But yeah, that is how I'm going to use this with this project. So that's all I have for you guys today. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. You can dislike it if you want to as well, if you didn't like it. And let me know down in the comments if this is something you're going to attempt as well. I am starting this in July because my brain likes to start on the first day of the month and continue for challenges like this. Plus, I figured it would be a good challenge for me in Q3 just to complete 2 projects in that time period. And I have them both planned out to the point where I should be able to complete both. And if I don't complete the second one, it's okay as long as I get the first one complete. So we'll see how it goes. Let me know down in the comments if you've used a hero's journal before for anything. It does not have to just necessarily be writing related. And if you're going to do this challenge, let me know down in the comments below as well. I will have links to RJ's original post, the hero's journal, if you are interested in purchasing your own copy, as well as all my social media. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, dragonlings.
You just jump here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a right war.
Restart.